So far, so good. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another government tutorial session, courtesy of the Jason Charity Support Foundation. So far, so good. On the state structure and characteristics of government, we have discussed the unitary system of government, federal system of government, confederal system of government, presidential system of government, and parliamentary system of government. By the grace of God, today we are going to be rounding up on the state structure and characteristics of government with the monarchical and republican government. So as a refresher from the previous sessions, we identified the fact that a unitary system of government is a system of government where all the power is centralized in the central power or in the federal power. Then we also identified the fact that federal system of government is a system of government where they embrace the principles of federalism, where power is shared between the three tiers of government: the federal, the state, and the local. I will talk about the confederal system of government as a system of government where we have one or two sovereign nations coming together to form a confederation. And also we talk about the presidential system of government where it's a system of government where one president is elected in a formal election, and the president is both the executive leader of the government and is also the ceremonial head. And we'll talk about the parliamentary system of government, where we say it's a system of government where the party that has the highest win in the House, in the legislature, proceeds to form the government, where we have the head of government and we have the ceremonial head. So, and we also have tried to identify the various differences, similarities that are between them, the various system of government. So today, we'll be rounding up that topic, and hopefully we'll be able to start pick up another topic. So let's start. All right, so a monarchical system of government is a system of government where the sovereignty of the state is embodied within a single and usually hereditary head of state. And it is usually known as a system of government where we have a monarch who is the head of government or a ruler. So typically, the monarchical system of government is what you find in countries where we have, kings and queens. And so it is usually hereditary. So the government is usually hereditary. The process of getting a leadership is usually hereditary. So on the other hand, a republican system of government is that which has an elected head of state by the people. That means that a sovereign state is referred to as a republic if the country has no traditional ruler or its head of state, but with the one chosen by the people with a fixed term of office. Such head of state is known as the president in the republic. And so in a better definition of monarchical system of government, the term monarchy is used to refer to a king or a queen or an emperor. So it's usually a traditional system of rulership. So now, on the other hand, a republican system of government is a sign of government where the country or the state is known as a republic. The president or the head of state is elected through the head of state is voted for by the people and is chosen by the people. Unlike the monarchical system of government, where the rulership is literally traditional and hereditary. So the two systems of government are a contrast. That is word and opposite. So monarchical has a king, a queen, a ruler, and it is literally traditional and hereditary. While a republic has a president, a head of state, a prime minister, or whatever name, a governor, you understand, a leader who is elected by the people. So I think that is the very first thing we'll talk about, the definition. Now, what are the features of the monarchical system of government? Number one, it is the government by a king or a queen or an emperor. Number two, this form of government is hereditary. Number three, it is based on age-long culture and practices. Number four, the monarch is the individual representative and the organ and symbol of supreme power. While monarchy is also a natural institution, obedience to the monarch is as natural as obedience of a child to his parents. So these are the 5 distinct features of a monarchical system of government. As we have always said in this class, that this system of government, their features, their merits and demerits derives from their definitions. Now, let's talk about the features of a republican system of government. Number one, the head of state is usually elected by the people. Number two, a republic is politically independent. Number three, members of the legislature are directly elected by the people Number 4, the function of the government in a republic are performed by officials and not traditional rulers. Number 5, a republican constitution is entirely homemade. Number 6, there is political and legal equality in a republic. Number 7, rule of law is an essential feature of the republic. And last but not the least, the popular sovereignty, which is the ultimate power of a state, rests with the people. So now, from the definition and the features, we can begin to distill the merits and the demerits. So let's proceed to talk about the merits and demerits. So majorly, let's start with monarchy. Monarchical system of government is tyrannical. That is number 1. Number 2, there is no constitution. Oh, sorry, we're talking about the merits. Okay, sorry, we're talking about the advantages. Now, the advantages of the monarchical system of government is that number 1, it is simple and administrative. It is administratively easy to run. So a monarchical system of government is headed by a ruler and traditional title holders. And so it creates a sense of belonging and loyalty among the citizens. Also, the sovereignty lies with the king or the queen or the emperor, as the case may be. Number 3 or number 4 is that there is allegiance and obedience of the monarch by the people. And last but not the least, the decision making is easy. So the decision is made by the king or the queen with or without consultation with the traditional rulers or title holders. Now, what are the demerits? Like I said before, number 1, it is tyrannical. Number 2, in the 21st century that we are today, a monarchical system of government appears to be obsolete and old because there have been more sophisticated system of government. Number 3, there is no constitution. Number 4, they are largely run by what's it called now? Traditions and conventions, which makes for a very poor and weak state structure. So those are some of the demerits of the monarchical system of government. Now let's go to the republican system of government. Number 1, the merits. Number 1, that is the advantages now. They are constitutionally recognized. That is the head of state and the president. It's constitutionally recognized. Number 2, the republican system of government makes for a sovereign state. It enables political independence. There is presence of legislature, or generally, let's say one of the merits is that this Republican system of government embraces the principles of democracy. There is a written and rigid constitution. There is political participation, and the rule of law is one of the hallmarks of a Republican system of government. So basically, when we are talking about the demerits, that is the advantages, we want to talk about it is hard, it is sophisticated, and the cost of government is high. Number two, the constitution is rigid. Number three, the decision-making process is typically slow and not easy. So basically, those are like the three key main disadvantages of, or demerit, if you like, of the Republican system of government. So I think this is the last subhead in our discourse of the state structure. So be that as it may, we would now give an overview of what we have discussed so far, just like I started with. So, and perhaps maybe we'll attempt some past questions. Yeah. To look for the questions. Okay. Government system. Okay, the why question that I have here does not really have one. So basically, just like I said last week, most of the objective questions are going to try to trick you into questioning your understanding of these various state structures, their features, their merits, and their demerits. So if you can take your time to key in the distinct features, characteristics, advantages, and disadvantages of these various systems of government, you will not have problem answering WAEC questions or JAMB related questions in government. So let's do. So I'm so sorry. The next point of call will be citizenship. Mr. Jatu, can you tell me how many more minutes you have so that I will know if we are diving into this new topic or we're just rounding up this session?
You still have about more. You still have more than 10 minutes. You still have some time.
Okay, and so I think it's just better we start talking about citizenship.
Okay.
So hopefully between now and next week, I'll come up with questions. So when we talk about citizenship, citizenship refers to the position or status of being a citizen of a particular country. Better put, citizenship is a relationship between an individual and a state to which such an individual owes allegiance, and it's in turn entitled to its protection. So that's basically what the meaning of citizenship. When we want to break it down, citizenship talks about the act of being a citizen or of being a domicile of a particular country or state. So after that, we want to talk about the mode of acquiring citizenship. So this is very simple. Number one, we have citizens by birth, citizenship by registration, citizenship by naturalization, citizenship by marriage, and citizenship by diplomatic relationship. So when we talk about citizenship, we want to know the mode of acquiring citizenship. So naturally, when somebody is giving birth, citizenship by birth in a particular country, the person automatically becomes the citizens of that country. And conversely, citizenship by registration is the act of acquiring citizenship by registering. So there are certain requirements that are laid down by different countries and by which you can become a citizen of such citizenship, of such state. For example, the Nigerian category of citizenship by registration is an individual can be issued a certificate of citizenship in Nigeria if they comply with the following things. One, the person is of good character, and the person has 2 witnesses to attest to the person's good character. Number 2, the person shows an very serious and clear desire to become resident. The person takes the oath of allegiance to Nigeria, which is contained in the Nigerian Constitution. Also, a person who is married, a man or a woman who is married to anybody who is married to a man or a woman in Nigeria. So the person becomes a citizen. And also where somebody has his grandparents as citizens of Nigeria, or people who are descendants of Nigerian grandparents, they are required to pass through some levels of registration to become citizens of Nigeria. And also citizens by naturalization, just like I said, it varies from different countries to country. So, but in a nutshell, so we have identified what the meaning of leadership, what the meaning of citizenship is. The mode of acquisition we have identified so far is stated by birth, by naturalization, and by registration. And so the next point of call we'll be going to will be the rights, the duties and obligations, as well as the means for safeguarding the rights of the citizens. And so
angry. I'm not angry. I am modest. That may be. Unfortunately, it is a risk I must take.
All right, so I guess that will be where we'll be drawing the curtain for the night today. So so far so good. We have discussed, we have finished our discussion on the state structure and the characteristics of government. We discussed the unitary system of government, the federal, the confederate, the presidential, the non-parliamentary, the parliamentary, the monarchical, and the republican. And we have talked about their meanings, their types, their features, their merits, and their demerits. And now we have discussed about citizenship. We have defined citizenship as a relationship between an individual and the country which they are a citizen of. And we have talked about the modes of acquisition of a citizenship, which is by registration, by birth, and by naturalization. We have explained that of birth, that of registration. And so we will discuss the duties, obligations of individuals, and also the means of safeguarding the rights of citizens in the state. So as I have advised earlier, while you are preparing for your exam, particularly WAEC and JAM, try as much as possible to understand how these questions derive from the concept, the features, the distinct features of a particular system of government or a particular topic or a particular subject matter in government. So it is very important that you are able to elicit and read between the lines. These are some of the things that will make you come out in flying colors. And we appreciate the leadership of the JCSF tutorial team and committee. They are actually doing a very nice job. So let's hope that next week we are going to talk about, finish our discussion on citizenship. Then we'll proceed to talk about political party and party system and pressure groups, public opinion, and mass media. Yes, we'll cover these two topics next week. And hopefully the following week we'll be able to cover the remaining two topics, which is the electoral system processes and public and civil service administration. And the other topic I said I'm not going to really touch is the pre-colonial and political system of Nigeria, because I believe that you must have learned them in the history classes and you are familiar with them. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain for the night. Thank you very much for listening. We thank the leadership of JCSF. We'll see you next week. By God's grace. Yes, I will use this opportunity to apologize for not being able to make it last week. I had my phone got broken, and so I was not coordinated at the time. So thank you very much, JCSF. I will now yield the floor to Mr. Chapter. You can stop recording now.
Thank you, MB. See you next week.